Hi everyone, welcome back to Actual English. I'm Jennifer Clyde. It's time for lesson 349 and today's topic is, of course, we're talking about Christmas. So Christmas season 4. Let's talk about Santa Claus. Santa Claus is coming would be our subtitle for this lesson. So up until what age did you believe that Santa Claus existed? That it was Santa Claus that brought us all the gifts on Christmas Day if we were a good boy or a good girl. And if we misbehaved, if we were bad girls and bad boys, we wouldn't get a gift from Santa Claus. You know, I think Santa Claus adds a lot of fun to Christmas and Christmas gifts. Just the holiday spirit. When I was little, I think I believed that Santa Claus existed up until I was maybe in 3rd grade. I think I found out pretty fast at an early age that Santa Claus did not really exist. Well, okay. Think about that while we take you into today's lesson. Let's begin with actual talk.
Kelly, when I think of Christmas, Santa Claus comes to mind. I mean, it's the magic of Santa Claus and for children believing in that and the joy and excitement it brings.
Me too.
What do you think? Yeah.
Of course. Santa Claus and Christmas are synonymous. I mean, well, one, it's historical, I believe, and it's just fun. You know, I'm kind of a big kid, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, I still believe in Santa Claus. I mean, I remember the day that I stopped believing in Santa Claus, and that was devastating, but I think everybody has a memory like that.
Yeah. It does. It changes you, doesn't it? When you,
kind of.
Yeah. I mean, when I believed, I remember not being able to sleep the night before.
Yeah.
Leaving out, carrots and a pint of Guinness and some food for Santa and the reindeers.
Wait.
Yes.
Hold up. You leave beer for Santa Claus?
Yeah. Santa
Okay.
likes drinking in Ireland, particularly Guinness.
That's not like Canada.
Or is that my father? I wonder.
Well, that's definitely different from Canada. We leave milk and cookies.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, beer, no, that would have been a bit sacrilegious,
Really?
I think.
Santa likes to get drunk in Ireland.
That's funny.
But yeah, when you find out it's not true, you lose sort of the magic and the joy, and it's something different, isn't there?
It's definitely a change. I can imagine a little kid coming home saying, "Mommy, so-and-so said there's no Santa Claus." And as a mother thinking, how do I answer this?
Yeah.
You know, you want them to stay young forever, and yet people have to grow up and learn that, fairy tales are fairy tales. But
absolutely.
It's a magical element of the holiday, and I think you can kind of incorporate it as part of the Christmas spirit. It doesn't have to be a real thing. Writing letters to Santa. I still did that up to grade 9, I think. But either way, I think I'd like to keep it as a nice thing. Just in sentiment.
Yeah.
Pure.
Today we had Kelly and Gareth helping us out, and they were each talking about Christmas and, of course, Santa Claus. It's quite different. From where Gareth is from, they leave beer for Santa Claus, believe it or not. But I'm sure it's the adults that actually leave beer outside for somebody, I guess. I don't know. It's different in Canada for sure, and in America. I don't think people leave anything for Santa Claus in Korea, but the whole point is that children often believe that Santa Claus exists up until a certain age, right? So let's talk about that today, okay? Here we go. Gareth says, Kelly, when I think of Christmas, Santa Claus comes to mind, okay? So when I think of something or somebody comes to mind. Okay, we've gone over this many, many times, so by now you probably understand what Gareth means by saying this first sentence. What is he saying? When it's Christmas, when Christmas is around the corner, when I think of Christmas, Santa Claus comes to mind. I think of Santa Claus. Okay, so he's basically saying that he could connect Santa Claus and Christmas. It's the magic of Santa Claus, and for children, believing in that and the joy and excitement it brings. So what is Christmas all about? Let's take a look. Christmas is all about Santa Claus and, of course, children believing in something. Believing that Santa Claus does exist. So believing in that, so believing in Santa Claus, it's also about the joy and the excitement it brings with it. We're talking about the Christmas holiday season. Now, Kelly says, me too. Of course, Santa Claus and Christmas are synonymous. Here is a vocab word for today. When we take a look at each lesson's vocab words, okay, we have the vocab word, the pronunciation guide, and then following that we have SYN. That's, of course, short for synonym or synonyms. But here, very similar to synonym, we're saying that something is or some things are synonymous. Synonymous, meaning that these two have the same meaning or similar meanings. She says Santa Claus and Christmas are synonymous. They have very similar meanings. They're closely related. Well, one, she says, for one thing, it is historical and it's just fun. Okay. If you say that something is historical, you're saying that it somehow relates to history, okay? Something that relates to history would be historical. You might even hear historic, very similar. People often get historical and historic confused. There is a slight difference in meaning. Historical with an AL at the end means that it pertains to, relates to the past, to history. But if you say historic, of course, it relates to the past, thus history, but it also means that something or someone played a very important role, okay, related to history. So there's importance added to that meaning. Anyhow, she's saying that for one, it is historical and it's just fun. I still believe in Santa Claus. Here we go. Let's take a look at to believe in something or someone in this case. She says that she still believes in Santa Claus. Now, if you believe somebody or believe somebody's story, you are saying that it makes sense. You think that this person is not lying, okay? You think that he or she is telling you the truth. So you would say, okay, I believe you. I don't think you're lying. I believe you, okay? But if you say that you believe in something or somebody, it's more than just trusting that it's true or false, okay? So here, if you say you believe in Santa Claus, you are saying that you believe that Santa Claus exists. You believe in that being. I remember the day that I stopped believing in Santa Claus. And that was devastating, okay? Something that's devastating causes severe shock. Grief even, okay? So she's saying, oh, it was very shocking. It was devastating. When I found out that Santa Claus was not real, okay? When she stopped believing in Santa Claus, it was devastating. But I think everybody has a memory like that. Yes, I think we all do. Garrett says, yeah, it changes you, doesn't it? When I believed it or believed in it, we're talking about Santa Claus, I remember not being able to sleep the night before. Leaving out carrots and a pint of Guinness and some food for Santa and the reindeer. Okay, let's take a look at what he used to do, okay? Perhaps for Christmas, for Santa Claus and the reindeer. What did he do? He left out, okay? He remembers leaving out carrots. So he would put carrots outside the door. What else? A pint of beer and some food for Santa and the reindeer. Now, deer often, we do not add an S, okay? So the same goes for reindeer as well. the proper way to say reindeer would be reindeer, even in the plural form. There are 5 reindeer outside. There are 3 deer outside, okay? You would not normally add an S, so keep that in mind. Now, Kelly says, wait, hold up, hold up. Here we have a pattern, hold up. What does that mean? Of course, you can hold something up. Let's say, for example, we have this remote. If I hold this remote up, I would be holding it up. I'm holding the remote up. Okay, up like this, so that everybody could see it. But hold up in this case, it has a different meaning. When you say hold up, it means wait a minute, hold up. So she says, wait, hold up, because she does not quite understand what Gareth is saying. She says, you leave beer for Santa Claus? Oh yeah, Santa likes drinking in Ireland. Okay. So this is what they do traditionally in Ireland, leaving out beer and carrots and food for Santa Claus. Okay, and particularly, they do leave out a certain brand like Guinness. Or, is that my father? I wonder. Okay. Oh well, that's definitely different from Canada. Okay, now she's going to talk about how things are done in Canada on Christmas. She says, we leave milk and cookies. So they leave milk and cookies for Santa Claus. And she says beer, bringing it up as a question. No, that would have been a bit sacrilegious, I think. Now, she talks about beer, and then she says that would have been a bit sacrilegious. Now, sacrilegious probably is a new word for many of you, okay? But have you heard of this word religious? Religious, okay? There are religions. A person can be religious. You could also be sacrilegious. So, if you behave in a sacrilegious way, it means that you are showing disrespect for something that is considered holy, or you're showing disrespect for something that people think should be respected. So a very simple synonym would be sinful, okay? You're showing disrespect towards something very holy, or something or someone that should be respected. That's why she's saying sacrilegious. Anyhow, Gareth, he's just saying, hey, why not? Santa likes to get drunk in Ireland, okay? Once again, this is what it's like in Ireland. That's funny. They laugh it over, and Gareth says, but yeah, when you find out, when you discover it's not true meaning that Santa Claus does not really exist, you lose the magic. You kind of lose hope, right? You lose the magic and joy, and there's something different, isn't there? It feels very different once you find out that Christmas and Santa Claus, or Santa Claus, is not real. It's definitely a change. I can imagine a little kid coming home saying, Mommy, so-and-so said there's no Santa Claus. And as a mother thinking, how do I answer this? So this is just an example she's given. She says, you know what? Imagine, what if a kid, a little boy or little girl, a child, comes home and says to Mommy, Mommy, so-and-so said there's no Santa Claus. Okay, let's take a look at so-and-so. What's so-and-so? Okay, so-and-so, we would usually use in a situation where we are referring to a person that doesn't have a name. Someone that's anonymous, somebody we don't know, or someone we don't know the name of. So-and-so is a person. We're just not giving him or her a name, okay? Mommy, so-and-so, somebody said there's no Santa Claus. And then as a mom, mothers could think to themselves, oh no, my child just said this. Who told my child this? How do I answer this? Okay, this is what moms and dads could wonder. You want them to stay young forever, and yet people have to grow up, become adults, and learn that fairy tales are fairy tales. What is a fairy tale? Very simple. Fairy tales are stories usually aimed for children with, let's see, fairies and strange creatures, goblins, things like that. Those are fairy tales. But it's a magical element of the holiday. And then she says, and I think you can incorporate it as part of the Christmas spirit. Incorporate something as part of the Christmas spirit, the Christmas environment, the energy, okay? But incorporate means what? Simply put, incorporate means to kind of blend together, merge, combine, make one, okay? Make a few things into one whole, combine, blend. So she says you can incorporate it as part of the Christmas spirit. Okay, and then let's move on. It doesn't have to be a real thing. It does not have to be a real thing. It can be fake. She says, writing letters to Santa. Okay, I still did that after grade 9, meaning 9th grade. But either way, she says, I think I'd like to keep it as a nice thing just in sentiment. Just in sentiment basically is like a mental feeling, you know, that feeling we feel, emotion perhaps. So they both seem to agree. You know, although we know that Santa Claus does not really exist, somehow we still kind of hope that Santa Claus is somewhere watching us from somewhere, right? Okay, so with all of this in mind, let's take a listen to the conversation one more time.
Kelly, when I think of Christmas, Santa Claus comes to mind. I mean, it's the magic of Santa Claus and for children believing in that and the joy and excitement it brings.
Me too.
What do you think? Yeah.
Of course, Santa Claus and Christmas are synonymous. I mean, well, one, it's historical, I believe, and it's just fun. I mean, I'm kind of a big kid, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, I still believe in Santa Claus. I mean, I remember the day that I stopped believing in Santa Claus, and that was devastating, but I think everybody has a memory like that.
Yeah. It does. It changes you, doesn't it? When you
Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, when I believed it, I remember not being able to sleep the night before.
Yeah.
Leaving out, you know, carrots and a pint of Guinness and some food for Santa and the reindeers.
Wait.
Yes.
Hold up. You leave beer for Santa Claus?
Yeah. Santa
Okay.
likes drinking in Ireland, particularly Guinness.
That's not like Canada.
Or is that my father? I wonder.
Well, that's definitely different from Canada. We leave milk and cookies.
All right.
Yeah, beer, no, that would have been a bit sacrilegious,
Really?
I think.
Santa likes to get drunk in Ireland.
That's funny.
But yeah, when you find out it's not true, you lose sort of the magic and the joy, and it's something different, isn't there?
It's definitely a change. I can imagine a little kid coming home saying, "Mommy, so-and-so said there's no Santa Claus." And as a mother thinking, how do I answer this?
Yeah.
You know, you want them to stay young forever, and yet people have to grow up and learn that, you know, fairy tales are fairy tales. But
Absolutely.
it's a magical element of the holiday, and I think you can kind of incorporate it as part of the Christmas spirit. It doesn't have to be a real thing. Writing letters to Santa. I still did that up to grade 9, I think. But either way, I think I'd like to keep it as a nice thing, just in sentiment.
Yeah.
Pure.
Welcome back, everyone. It's now time for actual expressions. Let's take a look at the vocab words and the patterns we found in today's actual talk. First of all, we've got the word synonymous. Synonymous. Here we go. Stress goes right there on the second syllable. Think of synonym if you can't remember the meaning of this word. Synonymous means that it is of similar meaning. Something that has the same or similar meaning would be described as synonymous. So compatible, identical, yes? Interchangeable, equivalent, which means the same as. So synonymous. Let's pronounce this word 2 times together. Stress goes right there. Synonymous. Synonymous. Okay, we were talking about how Christmas and Santa Claus are synonymous. Okay, They're somehow interchangeable, compatible, similar, okay, in meaning. What about historical? Here we go. Stress goes right there. Historical, historical. Now, historical. Historic plus an AL means that it relates to history or it's somehow inspired by history. So these are some synonyms. Ancient, classical. Okay, chronicled is another one. Moving on, devastating. We've gone over this word many, many times. Shocking, okay? Shattering, traumatic is a good synonym, okay? Something that causes severe shock, even grief. What about sacrilegious? Here we go. A new word for most of us. Sacrilegious. Sacrilegious. Stress goes right there. And some synonyms are blasphemous, sinful, as I told you. Something like a behavior. It's when you show disrespect towards something that should be respected or towards something that people normally think should be respected. Okay? Let's move on. Incorporate, quickly. Incorporate means to absorb, blend, as I told you, kind of combine. And sentiment is very similar to feeling, attitude, view, thought, even emotion. All right, let's move on. We've got two patterns for you today. If you tell somebody, hey, hold up, it means, hey, wait a minute, right? Okay. Hold up, you're moving to Germany. Okay, hold up, you're moving to Germany. So in this case, you're saying, oh, wait a minute. Say that again. What did you just say? Hold up, you're moving to Germany. Okay. You can also say, hold up. I'm not as fast a runner as you. I can't run as fast as you. I'm running out of breath. Hey, hold up. It means wait for me in that case. So hold up can be used in these two different situations. Let's take a look at one more. So and so. Now this would be when you're referring to somebody that does not have a name or you don't know the name or the name isn't really important, just somebody in general. So and so. In other words, somebody told me that you may get a promotion this month. So-and-so told me that you may get a promotion this month. This means you either don't know the name of the person or the name of that person is not very important. Think of it as somebody, okay? Job well done. Practice more on your own.